Right, let's get into it. So in the previous two parts, we're working on getting Scorpion Engine demos running on the Mega Drive side, just making sure that they work on Mega Drive, and if they don't, just flagging them as Amiga only for now. So we're going to continue on that. Um, if and yeah, so the last two streams we did run into some pretty severe bugs. Most of those have been fixed, but if we find any new ones, I'll flag them for fixing later. And then if we've still got time, I may do a bit more work on Amigo the Fox, just because it is the flagship demo sample game that comes with Scorpion, and so I was planning on putting some more work in on things like Parallax, but I'll only get around to that if we've still got time at the end of the stream. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's see what demos we still need to sort. Oops. Okay, let's have a look. Unsorted Liminalia 2-player. So that's a 2-player game. I will just check that it. I'm not actually sure if I've got this running on Mega Drive or not. This may be one that I just have to flag as Amiga only. Okay, it's a bit rough. It's sort of working. Whoops. I will need to do some tidy up. It's the palette. I haven't really adjusted it for Mega Drive. Let's just see if we can actually play it. Yep, we can. I mean, it works. I don't think I've got a second. Do I have a second player control setup? I don't think I do. Let's have a look at our key bindings for a controller. How do we change that? Okay, so they should be set to the number pad. It doesn't seem to be working. Spawner player 2. Might try on a different emulator just in case there's a control issue. Just trying to remember, how do I set the joypads? Okay, so oops, did that. Okay, so that emulator crashed. I'm going to try a different one. Right. Actually, yeah, I think it looks like the second player control isn't working, so we'll need to come back to that. I'll just check that. So controller 2, pad up, down, left, right. So I'm going to change these controls a bit. Oh, it won't let me set that one for some reason. Okay, must have had something else set to it. I'll just restart it just in case. Yeah, it did have multiplayer working at one point. Maybe it's just not working now. In any case, I might flag this as a Amiga only demo. There's a lot of tidy up that needs to be done to get it to work well. Okay, second player control's not working, so I'm going to need to flag that as okay, bugs to fix, second player GoPad not working. But this one, I'll do a Mega Drive version of it later. I'm just going to flag this as Amiga only. Oh, that's should go under games. It's a full game. Ah, oh, I should have closed the project before moving it. Made a mess of things. Okay, line of sight demo. So that's just all that is just has an AI that follows the player. It should just work. Okay, so I'm running it on the Amiga side. That's just fine. So the snake only follows me when it can see me. That's what I expected. That should just work when I switch it to Mega Drive. Well, let's see if it does or not. Yep, so it's all working as expected. The snake will follow me only if it can actually see me. So that's exactly identical on both platforms. We can flag that one as a cross-platform. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to go Amiga, Mega Drive, and that's just a simple demo. Okay, Monkey Lad. Now that's one of the bigger sample games. Have I done any work on... I think I have... Yeah, I think I've tested a little bit on Mega Drive. The art in this comes from Cert, who's one of the best pixel artists on Open Game Art. Oh. Okay, no, it's just a crash with an error because I haven't... I've got this thing at the start which sets the resolution to 192, which of course doesn't... that doesn't work on a... doesn't work on a Mega Drive. It only supports 224 and 240. So I'm just going to put a condition around it. I'm just going to say if is Amiga, it's not zero, and then do that. So that way that code only runs on the Amiga. So as I was saying, the art for this was done by Cert, who's does lots of cool art for Open Game Art. This game was... Oh, and the character's blinking for some reason. I'll need to look at that. I might have done something just to test with, and I forgot to turn it off. But yeah, so this entire art set is based on Sega Master System limitations. So the idea was to basically, well, as I understood it, what Cert was trying to prove is that Alex Kidd on Master System could have looked a whole lot different. Could have looked like the tile set that he created. So let me just see, why is it level 1 start level? Okay, so I've got this code here. I think I was testing this Shadow Flash mode, and I've got to turn it off, so I'll get rid of that. And let's try it again. Now, there is no sound in this demo, so I probably should make something. Or, just do a really quick conversion of the Amiga sounds. Yep, so that's looking pretty good. It's playing pretty well. There's a couple of, there's another level beyond that. just quickly play through to the end just to make sure that there's no major bugs. It just seems to be working fine. Okay, so first level looks good. I don't think I've tested the second level before. Okay, now we've got a bug. It's because the second level is not as tall as the minimum resolution. So let's see if we can fix that real quick. Hopefully this. Oh, hang on. Hopefully this change isn't going to break anything on the Amiga side. So we'll see. We just want to make the level 224 tall. So 224 divided by 16 needs to be 14 tiles tall. It's only 12 tiles tall, so we can fix that. In fact, I'll just make the bottom of the level taller, and then just gonna. Oops! I just want to grab that bottom layer and then drag it down or copy paste it down. I think I might have to do it on a couple of layers. Jesus. Okay. Okay, and then I guess I just need to make that. Okay, so we've got a tool and map. Oh, and I should have put it on the bottom layer as well. Just grab those bottom clouds again. Whoops. So didn't select the last bit of it. It's a little bit fiddly working with a map this wide. Okay, let's down here and then that down there. Let's go to the cloud layer. Not as much to select, only that bit. Just need to put it there. Now we've got a map that should be tall enough. I don't want to play through the entire first level again to get to it, so I'm just going to really quickly put in a cheat. So if I push start while I'm playing the game, then we should go to what code is it? Okay, on finish level. So if I link that to on finish level, that should skip to the next level. Let's just see if that works or not. What did I change the... Okay, that worked. And yep, so that's working. So this is sort of a rough remake of the motorcycle stage from the original game. And I haven't actually played it on Mega Drive before. It's encouraging to see that it's just working. Some weird glitches there with the clouds, but those those might be on the Amiga side as well. I don't think I've really taken a close look. I'm just going to quickly investigate that see if there's a glitch with clouds. No, the clouds... That's an interesting one. So the clouds actually look okay there. And I'm assuming they're going to look okay on the Amiga. It's just that they look really weird on the Mega Drive for some reason. Um, okay, I think I might. Yeah, I think I might know why. It's because this has a blank background. There might be a bug where when there's a black background, it doesn't wipe what was there before. Maybe. Um, I think that's probably it. So I'm going to make a note to fix bug second level of Monkey Lad investigate why clouds glitchy. Okay, and while I'm here, I said I was going to convert the sounds. So there are 6 different sounds that I need to convert. I did run into a bug last time when I converted the Amiga to Fox sounds. Hopefully, I won't run into that same bug this time. So all we want to do is we want to take our ADSVX files and then convert them back to WAV. And when they're back in WAV format, we can then create a wrapper for them with the MML sound format. So let's just quickly go through each of these. WAV. Should only take a minute. So maybe 1 or 2 other games I'll do the same process for. Oops, I don't want to misclicked. There's 4 of them. Should be just 2 left to go. Frozen well. It's been a long time. It's good to see you. I hope all is well. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got WAV files for each of the ADSVX files. So I am just going to audio tab. I'm going to import them. So they're all imported. If I look at see if I can find a need to find something that will trigger a sound effect. Sound ring shot. Okay, so that looks like the sounds have been imported. Let's just run it and blast them, and I'm just going to make sure that that there's at least some sounds. I'm not sure if all of them are going to be hooked up. We don't have any music. Okay, so that seems to be just working. I mean, they're not great sounds, but they are working just fine. So I think this one, apart from the bugs that I ran into earlier, I think this one we can basically say is done. Frozen Well says all's good. Been snowed under with work, but hoping to get some times to use Scorpion again soon. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing what you continue with in Scorpion. I remember you were working on a platformer. It might have been like Ghosts and Goblins, maybe. I could have misremembered that. Okay, next demo to sort is the mouse sample. It basically goes without saying that this is not going to work on Mega Drive. The Mega Drive did have a mouse, but I don't think anybody has them, so I don't think I'm going to bother with don't think I'm going to bother with mouse support for Mega Drive, just for Amiga. So that seems to be working on Amiga. I'm just going to see what happens if I run it on Mega Drive. It's probably just going to crash or not going to be able to move or... no, okay. So it's not really... Well, actually, why is it complaining? What? Oh, because I had a panel at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I would need to do some fixes to get it to run on Mega Drive anyway, so it's not really worth it. I'm just going to say that this one is a Amiga-only demo. Frozen Wolf says stopped that and was working on a version of Booty from the Spectrum. I can't say I've heard of Booty. I might have to look into that. I was a Commodore 64 kid, so well, I don't know if Booty appeared on the Commodore 64 or not, but I sort of missed out on a lot of those really good Spectrum exclusives. Okay, so put that under simple demo. I'm going to look up that actually. So hopefully I don't run into anything dodgy. Booty ZX Spectrum. Oh, that looks really cool. I would definitely like to see a Scorpion version of that. Yeah, it looks like a cute little game. Alright, Parallax Tricks. I'm going to say this one is Amiga only. I'll load it up anyway, and I'll just explain why this one is going to be Amiga only, just for the meantime at least. So, Parallax Tricks uses some art from Bitbeam Canon from their game Daemon Claw, and it's just sort of a demonstration of how we can just use the system to create a whole bunch of layers, or fake having a whole bunch of layers. So we've got 2 layers of the foreground spikes, and then we've got 2 layers of mountains, and also like the clouds move at different speeds, and those are all part of a single parallax image. So there's nothing really. There's nothing in this that couldn't really be done in pretty much any Scorpion game that uses parallax. It's just sort of a demonstration of that this is how we do these tricks. But I will. Oh, and yeah, the reason why we can't really get it to work on Mega Drive is because the Mega Drive side, we can't animate the parallax at the moment, because that demo sort of relies on like an animated background parallax, but also we don't have line-by-line slicing for parallax working on the Mega Drive yet. So that might become a cross-platform demo in future. At the moment, it's just Amiga only. Platformer modes, this should just work on both. It's just sort of really to show how we the different options for creating platform controllers. So, so the classic one is just sort of the standard Scorpion platformer type. Mario is it's a lot less floaty, so it is based on the Super Mario Brothers game. Basically, as soon as you get to the top of your jump, you fall straight down, so it doesn't feel as much like moon gravity. Sonic is a bit more bouncy, so you sort of have these nice parabolas, and because Sonic does that spinny jump, so yeah, with that, it doesn't matter if you hold down, like if you do a full jump or just a partial jump, you always get a nice smooth parabola. And then jetpack, that's just literally just a fake, well, a jetpack controller. And yeah, so that works, no bugs, no problems on Mega Drive. So I am going to flag that as a cross-platform one. Oh. Name that platformer modes Amiga Mega Drive. Okay. What's the next one? Render modes and palettes. This might work on Mega Drive. I'll just see if it does or not. Oh, Frozen Wells said Booty was a budget Firebird game. Yeah, I've heard a few of those Firebird games were pretty good, and then quite a few were terrible. Ah, now this is interesting. So you might see we've got a lot of dots at the top of the screen. That's you get dots like this when you're changing the palette, and this demo changes the palette every frame. I don't think it's a bad thing to leave it in there, just sort of as a reminder that if you're changing the palette, then you are going to get these artifacts, or if you change the palette at real time. So this one, you can see that we can change the color of the palette at real time. And that's why, like, it's constantly changing it even when it doesn't need to. That's why we've got those artifacts all the time. And then this side isn't really going to work that well on the Mega Drive because most of these buttons here, they set different render modes on the Amiga. Like there's one that changes the. In fact, I'm gonna put it on the Amiga side just to show what it should look like. But this is going to be an Amiga only feature, at least until I work out some trickery to do the same thing on Mega Drive, which may happen. But if I go over to there, so we've got this white flash mode. We've got this sort of shadow mode where is that shadow or an invert? I think this is the invert one, so it basically flips whatever's behind it. So you can get some sort of like ghostly effects, and then there's this one which I call shadow mode, and that basically just cuts through. Well, it renders the character as the lowest color in the palette, and so you basically can have something that cuts through to the background parallax. But yeah, so those ones only work on Amiga. So those last ones only work on Amiga. But the buttons on the other side work just fine. So I will say that this is a cross-platform demo. I did just want to do one change, is that the sprite is supposed to use a different palette line. So on Mega Drive, you've got 4 palette lines, so that's 4 16-color palettes, and a sprite can only be one of those, and a tile can only be one of those. So because I've got a different palette for the sprites, I've told it to use that palette, and I'll just check that it works. Yep, so that works just fine. I will done with that one, and I will flag that one as cross-platform. Amiga Mega Drive. I only got a few left to go. Now this one, Repairware, that one is, I don't think it's going to work on Mega Drive. I'll just see if it does or not. I don't think it will. Oh, column, destroy, image height is not. Okay, well let's have a look at that. Yeah, I'll fix that at least. The reason why I don't think this is going to work is because it's got images like this, which are fairly complex, and so that doesn't get changed into tiles easily. So 320, and what is 180 divided by 8? Okay, so what is 23 times 8 is 184. It's that. Okay, so that's one bug fixed. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it working. Oh. Same thing. Column fix image with that. Hey Mixel, welcome to the chat. Mixel says it's getting really interesting, and congrats on Mega Drive support coming along so quickly. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do keep finding bugs here and there with the Mega Drive side, but it is getting more stable and more functional all the time. I am planning on updating the public demo of, sorry, the public release of Scorpion Engine soon, and that will include the Mega Drive support as like a early access beta, so not really stable enough to actually release a game on, but yeah, it's certainly functional enough to at least get started with Mega Drive development. But yeah, so this is the reason why this game in particular is going to be Amiga only, at least for now. It says there's too many patterns in the level LVL-SU, and that's because if we actually look at that level, you see it's basically like full motion video. So what I will do at some point is I'll make it so that the tiles can be streamed from the so the background tiles can be streamed from the cartridge onto video memory. It's going to be a slow way of doing it, but for levels that like this that are basically cutscenes, then it should not be a problem. So maybe sometime on the next major update to Scorpion I'll look at that, but for now I'm just going to say Repairware is. Oh, actually no, I'm gonna run a Repairware on Amiga just so so everyone can see what it's like. It's a very quirky game. It was a Game Jam game made by Sergio Konaga, and it's basically a clone of WarioWare.
Repair.
The reason why I ported this to Scorpion is because I didn't have that many demos at the time, and I sort of wanted to show that, hey, if you wanted to make a completely off-the-wall WarioWare type game in Scorpion Engine, you can do so.
Congratulations.
So that's working on Amiga at least, and I'm just going to say this is Amiga only. Oh, and that's a full game, so I'm going to put it under there. Well, by full game, I mean it's a game as opposed to just a demonstration of one feature. Slopes, I think I'm going to do a bit of work on this one. So I think this one should just work. Okay, so it's only a 16 color game. But the problem is, like, this is using, Sonic art. I really should switch to free and open source art. So I will do that, but as you can see, it works. So this is just a simple demonstration of how you do slopes on a Scorpion Engine game. But I am going to replace the tile set. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. So I'm going to look at Cert. So I mentioned him before. He does a lot of really cool art for Open Game Art, and a lot of it has like really tight palettes, so it works well for a Scorpion Engine game. Like if you want a 16 color, want to make a 16 color Scorpion Engine game so it runs well on A500, then Cert would be a good place, or looking at Cert's art would be a good place to start. So I'm going to add this plastic Shamtastic. Let's have a look at the palette on that. How many colors? It should be 16 colors, I assume. It is exactly 16 colors. That's good. So I will. I am going to save that as our project palette as well. Well, go Mega Drive palette. So over at the Mega Drive palette, let's add a new tile set and grab that. Let's call that. Just going to call it plastic. And then I need to edit the map. In fact, I'm just thinking I could just, because that's kind of a demo level in of itself. I could just copy this and so if I go back to here, oops, let's we've got to add that new tile set. Whoops, didn't want to do that. How do I add external tile set? That's what I wanted to do. So it's plastic. I'm going to add a new layer. Just going to put this replacement layer. I guess just the only thing is I'm not so sure how well the tiles I have are going to fit. The slope tiles. I didn't really want to have to make new slope tiles. I guess I'll have to if I have to. Okay. Just make that, and then I'll delete the map. Let's just take that out completely. I'll need to put the player back in. And let's have a look at our slopes to see if we've got. Maybe our slopes will they fit? Yeah, these should work. Or at least they should be close enough. One. Oh no, that one is too sharp. Should have been looking at that one. Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay, yeah, maybe I just didn't do an inverse of those two angles. Oh, no, that one there. Or no, okay, so I think that slope there is. Don't know if I have that. So that takes 3 to get to. Yeah, okay, so that's a relatively shallow slope. I'm going to have to make new slopes for that. For these, yeah, let's um, see if I can get away with. Oh, maybe I can use. Yeah, use that slope. And then do that same on the other side. So fortunately, I do have a lot of slopes already that fit here, but I am going to have to make a new set of slopes for the more shallow side. I don't know if I'm going to bother with putting slopes up there because you can't really reach there anyway. Yeah, I'll just make it that you can't jump up there. Problem solved. While I'm here, let's make this 2 pallets, and so I want to have a separate pallet for um, this dude, which is also from Open Game Art. I can't remember the artist or anything like that. Oh, I should have decreased to 16 colors. And that's not a. It's not a very good downgrade actually. I'm gonna save this guy to the desktop, and then XNView. Let's go to there. So Find XNView generally does better downgrades. I'm going to change it to colors. That wasn't really great either. I'll just try turning off dithering. Yeah, I think it's just this character just has too many colors. So that's okay. I'll use the palette it's created anyway and just feed those colors into um, Scorpion. Let's grab. I'm going to skip that first color, and we'll just quickly as I can, go through and I really need to have some sort of quick palette import for sub palettes, especially since this sort of thing is going to be quite useful in Mega Drive side. Oh, and before I finish up on this one, I am going to test it on the Amiga as well, because this is a cross-platform demo, and this should look the same, if not slightly better on the Amiga, because of the Amiga's more accurate, or greater color depth. Ah, keep opening that accidentally. I do not need that open. Okay, just a few more colors to go, and then it'll be done. Okay. Oh, now I'm gonna need to set. I'm gonna need to set palette lines. I should do some tidy up here as well, because there's no need to have left and right versions. I only really just need the right versions. We need to rename these also. Full R. And that too. File R. Jump R and run R. Let's just make sure all of these are set to a palette line of 1. Okay, so those are all set to palette line 1. I need to fix the animations. Oh, and the other thing is I've got to go auto flip. Okay, so run R, run L. That's fine. So the idle R, L, run R, jump R, full R, and then the other side's full L, run L, and then jump L. I think that's all I need to do to get it to run on Mega Drive. Oh, I did forget one thing, which was I need to add those really shallow slopes, but I'll do that just want to make sure that it's at least working. So that's looking good, except fall down. Those gaps are left in level. Also, I'm going to rename that map. I shouldn't have Sonic anywhere in the name, so I'm going to call this level. And then the startup, I'm just going to change that to level. Mixels Labs says, I haven't tried building for Mega Drive yet. I'm looking forward to messing around with it. Yeah, I would be really interested to see if there was a version of Creeping Me Out for Mega Drive. I imagine that one would be pretty difficult to port because just how large it is. But yeah, although having said that, you've done an amazing job with it for Amiga. I could definitely imagine you being able to do a version for Mega Drive. Mixel also said someone should port Bishi Bashi Special to Amiga. I have no idea what that is, so I'm going to look that up. Bishi Special. Okay, so it is a... Oh, competitive minigame. Oh, okay, so it's like a Mario Party sort of thing. That yeah, that would be cool to see on Amiga. All right. Okay, I'm nearly done there. I just need more slopes. So I need 6 more slopes actually, so I'll add those in. Edit block image. Grid and that, and then it needs to be super shallow, like takes 3. Oh, can I turn off anti-aliasing? I don't want anti-aliasing, I just want it to be flat shaded. Oh. Didn't mean to create it as vector, but it's okay, it doesn't really matter. I'll just delete the edges, so now we've got that shallow slope going that way. We need to do the same thing the other way. Let's see if I can make it not a vector. And then just grab to there, and then that's looking alright. Let's fill that in, then delete the yeah, okay, I think that will do. Although it doesn't quite reach the edge, and that could be a problem. So I will just manually turn off snap to grid. I just want to manually fill in that last couple of pixels. Now that that's done, I'm going to need to make some more slope. I'm going to go slope L1. Okay, so got the slopes in. I should be able to fill in that last little bit of the map that I couldn't before. Oh, wait a minute. Is that even shallower than I thought it was? Or... no, I think that will be okay. That will have to do. It doesn't have to match it absolutely perfectly since it's only a demo. Yeah, okay, so... Alright. Okay, so, yeah, I will redo that. The problem was that the slope was even more shallow than I thought it was. So I thought it was 1 over 3. It's actually 1 over 4. So that's incredibly shallow, but that's okay. I will make that slope. Just need to use the grid. See, that makes it nice and easy having it like that. And then I can just clean off that edge. Just need to fill in those last few pixels. Let's close that, and then our blocks, I'm going to need to rename that one to slope 4. Also going to change the order of change the tile ID. So that one should be 30. That one should be 31. 32. Okay, so we've got a nice shallow slope. Hopefully it's going to work this time, or hopefully we'll be able to make it work. So I'll grab all that. Let's put it. Could that have been taller still? Yeah, I think I got the slope about right. It's just it could have also been a couple of pixels taller. Is that something I can easily fix? I should be able to fix it. Yeah, I should be able to just. Let's just we take the, let's say, that much off the top, move it up, and then just fill that in. Let's edit that again. That should be, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a little bit closer. I mean, I could spend all night working on this, so I will just give up on it there. And I need to. And it's a bit annoying. It's because it's on. This. Is that going to be a problem? I think that side might be even more shallow, but doesn't matter too much. I'll start from the bottom anyway, and then okay, that looks okay. That will be fine. I'll just fill in the gaps there, and we should have a fairly solid, smooth. Slope. Oh, and the other thing I was going to do is I've got the CPU version of the player that just runs around, doesn't actually do anything. Layers. I didn't actually. Just make sure I didn't. No, I was worried for a second I might have accidentally put the slope on the replacement layer. I didn't. Let's just put that AI one there, and and let's get rid of that tile seed. Hopefully it's just gonna let me delete it without complaining. Okay, so we've gotten rid of that art rule on open game art now. Level variable. Okay, so I shouldn't have called this level. I don't know why I didn't complain of it before. I just called this game level. Alright, I'll just run that on the Mega Drive, make sure it runs on the Mega Drive, then I'll run it on the Amiga, make sure it runs on the Amiga. Yeah, no, that's looking good. Can I jump? I can jump. I can't really get above or to the stuff above or below, but that's fine. We just wanted to demonstrate that we can run up and down a slope, and all sorts of different slopes. So that works. That's good. That's fine. I'm gonna say that one's done. I will just test it on Amiga. Just gonna make sure. Yep. So these are set to sprites, so it should use that. I'm gonna need to, if I get rid of that palette, and then I make a copy of the that one. I'm gonna go Amiga OCS.palette. Go back to here. So it's got our new palette. I just see what it looks like on Amiga. It should look a little bit nicer than Mega Drive, but very, very close. And yeah, so there you go. So we've got a we've replaced the tile set with completely free and open art. And yeah, looks pretty nice. So I will call it quits on that one, and then go to the next one. So let's rename that Slopes Amiga Mega Drive. Oh, they're still gonna. Ah, it's because I got that open, so I have to close Paintshop Pro. Let's try that again. Is that gonna work, or is it just gonna freeze Windows? Okay, let's cancel that. I'll try moving it from. It could be because I had that folder open. So let's try renaming it again to Slopes Amiga Mega Drive. Yep, that's fine. The snake one is the next one. That's a very simple demo that should just work on both, no problems. So Snake is like the old Motorola game. It's there's nothing really to it. It's just I did want to make a demo of a game that doesn't have any actors at all. It just uses blocks for rendering, so that's what I did here. And yeah, that works, no problems. It's just Snake. It's nothing special, but it works on Mega Drive. I might just quickly test it on Amiga. Go Amiga OCS mode. But yeah, so didn't have any problems at all. Yep. Okay, so we're done that one. That was really simple because we didn't need to make any changes at all. Now this one might be a bit of a pain, maybe. So Super Go Down the Hole. That's originally another game by Sergio Kunaga. Although it was based around the NES palette, it's not. It wasn't sort of like based on there being a limited number of colors. It basically uses the entire NES palette, and so even on the Amiga side, I had to reduce the palette a bit. But Mega Drive side, I think. I didn't mean to close it. Just switch that to Mega Drive. I'm gonna try using a different palette actually. So if I go to low spec palette list, and I'm going to use Sweetie 16. So one with 16 colors, and then sort it by downloads. I think it's at the top. Yep. So this one here, Sweetie 16. I am going to use that as my Mega Drive palette. I won't change the Amiga palette for now because the Amiga palette was at least based on the original palette. Let's just overwrite that. I don't know that it's actually. That's an image with all the colors in it. I don't know if it's set up as an index PNG. If it's not, then I'll have to do that now. It is index PNG, but it's 16 colors. So I'm going to need to make it 256 color palette. Yeah, okay. So I'll go back to here, and I'll just see what it looks like. Make sure that it runs. Hopefully, it doesn't give me any grief. So far, it's looking good. Oh, okay. No, there's some weird things. I think I might know what problem there is. Is the yeah, there's more than 16 colors there. So on the title panel. So let's get a XN view again, and so that. How many colors are you using? 23. So not too much more than 16. If we change to 16, should I dither it? I don't think dithering really makes a difference. So I won't dither it. I'll just decrease it to 16. I need to change it back to 256 so it has a 256 color palette. And let's try running that again. Okay, it's kind of working. It's those aren't aligned, so I should real quickly try to fix that. It's because since the panels on Mega Drive are based on tile rendering, the tiles have to be, multiples of 16. So all I should need to do is just edit our panel image again and just slightly adjust the position of the new game and the quit. Let's make it not snap to grid. I think it was 1 over and 2 up. At least for new game. I'll just quickly check that it aligns or not. Okay, so that one looks good. The quit needs to be moved over a fair bit more. So it looks like it's 2 up and then, I don't know, 5 or 6 to the left. 1, 2, 4, 5. Let's see what that looks like. 1 more to the left. Okay, that's looking better. I might just check. Yeah, the health bar should be okay, maybe. Also, the sounds. I probably should. There are a few sounds. Well, how many sound? Oh, a lot of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 12 sounds. I'm only an hour 13 into the stream, so I've got the time. Especially since we're near the end of the demos list, I might as well just quickly go through and then convert all of these to WAV files so that I can import them into Mega Drive. I really should add the ability to import, like on the Amiga side, just being able to automatically convert WAV to, or be able to import waves rather than import IFFs, which would mean that you would only have one set of sound files for both platforms. For your sound effects, at least, you need completely different files for your music, of course. But anyway, so I will just, as quickly as I can, go through all 12 of these. I guess I could also add something to Scorpion that does this, like, if you've got IFFs, then it generates the wave files, and vice versa. If you've got waves, then it generates IFFs. Okay, that's all of them. So I just need to go to import wave. It will generate MML files. So we should have sound in our game. Let's see if it works now. Well, sound effects at least, not music. But oh, okay. So we've got a few issues here. I don't know why the health bar is messed up like that. It's probably something to do with the palette. And I can fix that. Also, it doesn't really look that good having that should be full black. But yeah, I'll have a look at that. Oh wait, palette line 3. Have I got? Is there something else that's interfering with that? No, I don't think so. I'm only using one palette line. There's only one panel that's loaded at a time. I think it could just be a bug. So, okay, so if I run that again, that looks like a bug I should fix at the engine side. I'll do a little bit more investigation on the oh. Yeah, now that's weird. Oh, have I just got too many do I have too many patterns? It's oh, can't I open the debugger? Is it because did I replace the yeah, okay, so that was it's a problem. I shouldn't have replaced those okay, so let's have a look. So okay, layer debugger? I don't think I've seen that one before. Okay. Right, so let's did it not save those controls? I'll try starting the emulator and again just in case it was just because it didn't okay, yeah, that must be the problem is because I sorry, the problem was I uh, needed to restart. It's a little bit weird that I needed to restart after changing the controls, but that's what it is. So yeah, let's have a look. Now it looks like no, I can't think of a reason why that top panel is broken like that. That must be just a bug with Scorpion. So I'll make a note that I need to fix. Okay, super good on the whole. The player icons are not the player health icons are not working. Let's go back to the game. I'll just see if I can find. So I can't seem to see that on the. Wait, is it? Oh, that's interesting. So so the right there, you can see that is the image right there. It's just not showing that. It's showing something else. It's showing a different tile for some reason. And I can't see what tile it's used instead. Maybe it's used one of these tiles for some reason. I can't quite tell. But it should be using that image. So that image is in the video memory. It's just not displaying it. But I will come back to that. In fact, if I lose some health, then maybe it will. So let's attack the duck, and then I'll get hurt by the duck. No, it didn't seem to update the health bar. It must be just broken. So I will investigate that when I can. I'll see if I can get through it without the health bar. I generally think that palette's okay for this. It's a little bit bright, but it's okay. Just for demo, and like for that, it's supposed to be just black, so it is a little bit weird that it's not, but that's okay. Yeah, the sounds just seem to work, so no problem with that. It's not a very long game. I'll try to play through to the end. Mixel says, sounds just seeming to work. I wasn't expecting that well. Yes and no. I'll go into a bit more detail once I've through this demo, but the way I've got the sounds working is a bit hacky. Probably not really the ideal way for a Mega Drive game. But yeah, I mean it's a quick way of getting sounds into the game, but it doesn't really use like the Mega Drive's chiptune stuff for generating sounds. It's just loading a wave file, well, you're just running a sample, which sort of means that you can only really have a couple of samples playing at once. Oh, now that's a bug. So yep. So yeah, definitely we shouldn't have those doubled up lava pits like that. I think that's the same bug as... Oh, and there they are up there as well. So I think that's the same bug that I had in the... what was it? The... Monkey Lad. So in the Monkey Lad game, there were some bugs with clouds repeating. I think it's because there's no parallax in this, so it's not really wiping them out as I scroll through the game. It's just sort of keeping them there. But I've already got a note to fix that. Let's see if I can trigger the end cutscene. Oh, okay, so there's a few things that are broken here. It generally worked, it's just the guy isn't supposed to be moonwalking. But otherwise, so that's close to a 100% game. It's just there's the weird thing with those tiles repeating. There's the weird problem with the health not showing. But other than that, I was fairly pleased with that. And so yeah, Mixel said sounds just seem to work. So yeah, I had to manually convert all those sounds to wave, but also if I click import wave, that generates this MML file. So an MML is music macro language. So that's what it looks like. And this is just an MML file that only does the single thing, which is play a sample. And if I wanted to have two samples playing at once, I would need to change that to a K. I don't quite understand all of the Mega Drive sound channels. It looks like there's quite a few of them. Most of them can't play samples. I think most of them can only play generated noise. So that is sort of like Atari 2600 or chiptune type sound. But yeah, so that gives you your wave. That at least lets you import wave files. So far as MML music goes, that's something that has if you can already write MML music, then you should be able to work with it. If you can't, then there may be some converters at some stage in the future that, like for MIDI or for a tracker, that might help bring music from an Amiga game to the Mega Drive side. Okay, is it going to let me rename that one? Even though it is still a bit bugged, I think it's okay just to say it's Mega Drive. Ah, and of course it's going to complain. Let's fix all that. The big ship, I'm just going to say that this is a Mega only one. It technically does run on Mega Drive, it just doesn't look very good. So I'll just show you what it looks like in Mega Drive. So the idea of this one was to show that, okay, no, that is broken. I think it's just a tile set I need to fix. Yeah, so I found there was a bug with tile sets that I've actually since fixed it, but on ones that were on projects I worked on before I did the fix, it's gonna might mess up the tile set, but I think that was the only thing I needed to fix anyway. Okay, so I've run this. It should at least run. It just won't be particularly interesting or. So we've got this big boat, and yeah, just performance is not great. It's just not at all designed for the Mega Drive's capabilities. That boat, I should move it down a bit actually. So let's see if I can. If I change it to OCS Amiga and run it just under Amiga 500 settings, it should run much better. Because it's designed around the what the Amiga can do with the Blitter. Okay, so for some reason that's still going a bit higher than I intended. It doesn't really matter. I can yeah, so that is supposed to be higher than that. Oh, sorry, lower. Oh, actually, I know how I can fix it. I can just should be able to just move. What was it before? Is it 30? Then I just need to move the collision box down. Maybe. See what it looks like now. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of tricks in this. Basically, the ship doesn't have a mask, and it doesn't clean up. Like, it doesn't re-render the tiles that it draws over top of. It just well, because there is no tiles behind it, it's just that parallax. It's a little better. It's still a bit too high for some reason. I'll just move it all down a bit more. And there. One last try. And then I'll just say, I'll leave this demo and then move on to the next one. I think we're very, very close to the end. Oh, I didn't move that one, so that should go into games. What? Where did it go? Did I put it under Okay, I put it under simple demo for some reason. It should go into games. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay, so that's so that's just working. So that was really just sort of meant as a demonstration of how we can have really big full screen actors on Amiga. But because it's designed around the Amiga Blitter, it's just not going to work on Mega Drive. So I'm going to say that is Amiga. I'm also going to say Tones is Amiga. I'm not going to bother with that one. That's basically just like a musical keyboard. Oh, no, actually, I'll load it. But because we don't really have any way of dynamically changing the pitch for a sound on the Mega Drive, I think on Mega Drive, well, at least at the moment, that might be something that comes in future. But for the meantime, if you really want the same sound to have a bunch of different tones, you will want to just create a bunch of different sounds and then just tweak your MML so that the pitch is different for each one. Yep. So that's all it does, and this is Amiga only because we just don't have the ability to change the tone on a sound on Mega Drive at real time. Top-down racer. Yeah, I think I just needed to tweak the palette on that one. I think that was okay. Although it's a 32 color palette, I think that was one of the issues I had with it. Let's go to Top-Down Racer. I'll just run it on the Amiga side. Yeah, so this is that is a full-blown 32 color palette, or close to. And so this one was just sort of a demonstration of how we can have like an infinite looping level. Well, by infinite looping level, what I really mean is that there are different slices of the track, and then it just keeps switching between them randomly. So if we look at the map, that just has those two slices of road next to each other, and it keeps switching between them. What I'm going to do on switch it to Mega Drive. I'm going to say this is a Mega Drive demo. It's just the color is going to be a bit weird. So I am going to let's get rid of those magic purples, and we'll do a crunch palette. 3, and then remove those. I'm going to force it to 16 colors exactly, and I'll just put that down there. Background color to be black, and I'll just see what happens if I run it. Yep, so that works as expected. The palette's not quite as good as the Amiga side, but it's It's okay. So, oops, I may have a bug there with closing project. Seem to need to do it twice for some reason. I'm going to go Mega Drive. I'm going to put that under simple demos because it's not really a full game. Maybe at some stage I'll make it a full game. This translucency, this is definitely going to be Amiga only because, again, it works on using Mega Drive palette tricks. Sorry, it works on using Amiga palette tricks. So this was a demo that was made for Amos by the Bitbeam Canon team. It was just so to show how we can have fake glass windows. So that we ported that from Amos to Scorpion Engine because the Mega Drive doesn't really have the ability to split individual bit planes. Then it's not going to run anyway because I need to change the resolution and all that. So no, I won't worry about it. I'm just going to say that one is an Amiga only demo. And then that's basically it. So I've sorted all of the demos into ones that are suitable for Mega Drive and ones that are only suitable for Amiga. Let's just delete that folder. And still got 20 minutes, so I am just going to do a bit more work on Mega Fox. So I did have some serious bugs last time with it was things like the cactuses were spawning at the wrong place. So I think I fixed all that now. What I want to do is I want to work on the levels where in fact, what I'm going to do, so for all these levels that don't have a parallax, I'm going to put it in, just going to put that, no, I should, instead of reusing parallax, like every level should have its own parallax, so that's what I will do, except for like the last level, like you can't really see, it doesn't have parallax, so you can't really see through the background anyway. Level 3, I will do a bit of work on. So what have I got? Parallax 3. Okay, so let's open that. I will delete that. Just want a really simple background. Oh, and I'm gonna cut that out. So I want to reuse that elsewhere. Let's save that as. And I should make that this bigger as well. So I'm going to 32 by 224. Add a little cloud at the bottom. Save that under Platform Assets and Mega Drive. That will be in the Parallax 3. Let's make another Mega Drive Parallax. I'm going to save that under Platform Assets, Mega Drive. It can be just 3. And then Oh, I've got to set the palette line to that, and I've got to change it, the type to Mega Drive Parallax, so that I can then say this is Mega Drive Parallax. Let's see if I can just skip through to that level. Whoops. Ah, oh, it's not indexed. Okay, so that. I'm going to make it, I should make it so the first color is 0, because that's, well, black, but that's going to be transparent. I'll just paste that in there as the oh, no, that was dumb of me, because the cloud was using that, because the cloud is full white. So let's just do that. And then the fourth one, let's change that to that. And select that. Paste that in. Alright. Let's try running that. I'll just check that the parallax works. So skip to level 2. Level 3. Okay, so the parallax working. It's not looking particularly fancy, but it's working. But I want to add, because the Amiga has a foreground parallax on this level, and we can't really support that yet. So I'm going to make a new Mega Drive foreground. I'm going to make a new layer, and if I close and open that again, that should give me the options that I want. Yep, so I want to turn on foreground. I will need to remember to turn off Amiga when I go back into the Amiga side. But now that I've added that, I want. Have I got Oh, can I? No, I need to edit that tileset image, and I will put that in there somewhere. Guess there's no reason why I can't just put it there. And okay, so I've got Mega Drive foreground. Just going to do that a little bit more, then I'll just copy and paste across the whole level. Select that again. And then again. Okay, so that's looking a little bit more like the Amiga side, except the oh, can I get that? No, too late. Yeah. So the on the Amiga side, those clouds, because they're part of the foreground, they move. I think it actually looks a little bit better this way. So it's a little bit disorientating having the foreground and background clouds moving it. One's moving one way and one's moving the other way. Just having those clouds static might be better. Okay, I was looking for a those. Okay, so I think that level's okay. That level's generally okay. There's a problem where yeah, I can fall down and not die. I think on all of them I need to change it so that none of them have a solid bottom. This bit here on the first level, that was a test for something that's Mega Drive only at this stage, which is the ability to have foreground blocks. Because that block there, this 10th block, I've got that set as high priority on every corner. So what that means is that it's, even though it's a block which, you know, on the Amiga side is only in the background, on the Mega Drive side we can have it in the foreground like that. At some stage it will look at bringing that feature to Amiga. And yeah, this one works okay. What I was going to fix was so the clouds don't look that good because they're all part of that parallax. So I was going to do something where I would have where are we? If I edit that image, let's just change the canvas size. It doesn't need to be that wide, so let's just make it 32 wide. Okay, that. So I've taken the clouds out because the clouds were stuck to this background, and so it looked weird that the clouds were scrolling at the same speed as that. What I will do is I'll create a new actor. So let's just grab that cloud image and I'll go into animations. Just going to go into item and then I'm going to call it cloud. Add that. Got to add an active to the cloud. And I'm going to CPU parallax lock. So that will lock it to the camera. So that way I can have a clouds that are part of the parallax, but they scroll at a slower speed than the background. So I'm going to go 0.1. Let's have a look. So we've got our cloud parallax lock. I need to do something to make it so that the position is so I'm going to add some clouds to the very start of the level. I'll make a new this Mega Drive cloud because I don't want these clouds to show up on the Amiga because the Amiga already has clouds that scroll at different speeds. I'm just going to put like maybe 3 clouds in there. What I think is going to happen is that when I run the level, they're probably all going to be aligned to the top left or something like that. Let's see what happens. Yep, so they're up the top there. That doesn't really look that that good. Too wide. Oh, and I probably should align it so they're like that. Or no, I'll align it so that way, I think. So the reason is the var 4 and var 5 is set like that. That sets where the offset is from the start. So I need to add a let's add a simple code block. Just go parallax spawn, and then here on spawn I'm going to go parallax spawn, and I just need to set our var 4 and var 5 to match where the cloud already is. So it should keep that position. Should hopefully keep that position. Set variable, which will be actor var 4. Just set that to actor x, and the same for var 5. Let's just see if that works or not. Hopefully it will, otherwise it would be a pain to fix. Okay, I mean that's sort of working. There are definitely some issues there. One is, yeah, okay. I didn't take into account that of course they're not going to go behind the tile set, and I don't really have an easy way to solve that. So, okay, no, that's that was a failure. So it's just something, a technical limitation. I wasn't going to be able to do it that way anyway. So I might as well just delete that animation, delete the cloud. Oh, I have to. Oops. Oh, that's annoying. Can't delete it until got to remove it from the map to delete it, and it wasn't letting me open the map because it had an invalid animation. Okay, let's get rid of that now. I will put that back how it was, and then for that other map, the MD Parallax 3, I'm going to do the same thing. So that is, well, I'll basically copy and paste it just so that I've got clouds in there. So that should be 256 wide. And then I just need to copy and paste that bottom bit a few times. And then I need to do, I must have parallax for level 3 and, sorry, level 4 and level 5. See if I can do them fairly quickly. So, parallax for, okay, yep, that's something pretty simple. I just copy and paste that into there, and then can just copy our background sand dunes. Let's save that under Platform assets. Mega Drive. SMD Parallax 4. And I think the 5th level is just a repeat of the level 1 Parallax anyway, so let's look. All very similar. Oh no, it's water. It's water based. Oh, because it's level 5 is on an island. Just going to copy like that much of it. New image. Set the canvas size to yep, that will do. Copy all of that, and then I will save that as assets Mega Drive, Parallax 5, and I just need to make some panels, Parallax panels for those. So I'll just make a copy of that. Would be the easiest thing to do. Just need to change the image. So that's level 4, level 5. Oh, did I? What did I do? Oh, copy. Okay. Yeah, I did click the right thing. And let's change the image to assets Mega Drive 5. And I'll just check. It should be 4. Should be 5. That one is okay. Well. Oh, and I didn't index that. That one's okay. Just going to temporarily put some black in there just so that when I reduce the color count, it adds that as the first color. Now I can get rid of that. That should compile. And I'm just going to give this a quick playthrough. I'm just going to see if it all works as expected or not. It's a pretty short game. I should be able to get through it in just a few minutes. Just sort of speed run it. I've also given myself 9 lives just to cheat through it. Oh, now that was one thing I hadn't really thought about how to fix is those blocks. They because I've only got 2 layers on Mega Drive. I can't really have the parallax and then the levels and then the blocks on top of it. There's definitely a few things here I'll need to fix if I'm to, actually release this as a Mega Drive ROM, but I can come back to those. Oh, wasn't doing very well that time. So yeah, last time, whenever we got up to here, that plant would spawn at the wrong place. Also, we had this issue where you could, if you destroyed the candles, it wouldn't relight. Oh, and it's still... Okay, no, that's a bit weird. So for the most part it was working, it just didn't work every time. I might need to keep an eye out for that. Whoops! Just lost all my good stuff. I'm not sure if that's a trap or not. That one isn't a trap, okay. I think one of those ones is, but I can't remember which one is, if it's the bottom one or the top one. Okay, no, that's fine. It must be the other one that's a trap. I also need to change, like I've got that sparkle effect, but it doesn't look very good on Mega Drive because, again, a problem with the limited number of layers. Okay, that's looking alright. Let's see if I can get the, should be able to get that power up this time, which I can. Yeah, all in all, this one's working pretty good. It's just there's a few hacky things that I need to fix it. Yes, things that worked quite well on the Amiga, but won't work at all on Mega Drive. Oh, catch you later, Frozen Well. Okay, yeah, this one's looking good. This Parallax. Again, it's not looking as good as the Amiga Parallax, as the Amiga Parallax has all sorts of slicing, but it's okay. Will do until we've improved the Mega Drive Parallax. Oh, am I gonna be able to get that one? I didn't need to anyway. I already had the Fire Flower. Okay, just 2 levels left to go. Oh, that water looks not very good. I'm gonna need to tweak the parallax setting. Yeah, it's supposed to be moving faster than the camera on this level. It's actually moving slower. That's just because I didn't change the default setting. Can I get up there? I can. Okay, and already to the last level. We'll see if I can get through it without dying. It is quite a tricky. Level. I didn't actually design any of these levels. Oops. Okay, I messed that one up. I didn't actually design any of these levels. These levels are based on the DOS Mario game. Completely unofficial, but it was a really cool, really cool little game. Okay, I think I can. I'll go down here. It skips a hard section. Oh. back to the start. I didn't put any checkpoints in this. I don't think the original game had checkpoints either. Just wait for that. Oh. Let's see if I can get that. No, missed it. Oh well. I don't really need it. Well, I mean, it would be good to have some protection against, any damage. Ah! Oh, well, I gave myself a bunch of lives. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through it. Maybe I should, I was going what I thought was the easier way. Maybe I should go the harder way, which is keep going this way. Up. And then, okay. So at least that gives me another life. So I should have been going that way to keep stocking up on lives. Okay, I think it was around here that I died last time. Oh, this is going to be tricky because I can't jump the entire way, so that's why I should have gotten the health power up. Oh, I died anyway. Played through this game dozens of times. I should be better at it. Okay, hopefully I can keep my my power up the whole way through. Go this way so I can get that extra life. Okay, it's just this bit here is a bit tricky. The jumping. So far, so good. And this bit here was where shit. Damn it. Don't. Okay, I made it over the scorpion anyway, and then I think there's no more danger until Okay, so yeah, it's all working. Some bugs for sure, but generally works okay. And so I will leave it there for now. So just to recap, I've gone through the last 3 streams. I've gone through every single sample game that comes to Scorpion and sorted them into Amiga and Mega Drive. Every time I've done one of these streams, there's been a few breaking bugs, and the stream wasn't any exception. But once I get those bugs fixed, then I'll look at doing a major version update to Scorpion, which includes this the work in progress Mega Drive stuff. Okay, well, thanks for joining the stream. What I usually do at the end of the stream is raid whoever's streaming. Usually it's Amiga Live. I'll just see if they are streaming or if someone else is streaming. Yep, okay, so Amiga Live, let's send everyone there.